Welcome back to the deep dive. And yeah, buckle up because today we are peeling back the layers of a saga so complex, it makes a Shakespearean tragedy look like, I don't know, a kid's story. We're talking about the ever-unfolding universe of the Real Housewives.
Never a dull moment, is there? It
Yeah.
really is a universe unto itself, like with its own gravitational pulls of drama and celebrity.
Totally. And this deep dive, this is going to be your shortcut. Your way to being truly well-informed, packed with some surprising facts, and hopefully just enough humor to keep you hooked.
Yeah, our goal here is to really understand the latest ups and downs, the tremors and those tectonic shifts happening across this wild landscape.
Exactly. So our mission today, sift through this stack of recent updates, the juicy gossip, the sharp analyses, all concerning the entire Real Housewives universe. But we're putting a particular laser focus on the shifting landscape of Beverly Hills.
And we've pulled from, well, quite a few places for you. Exclusive news sites like All About the Truth, entertainment outlets like Koi Moi and Screen Rant.
Right, and popular YouTube commentary like
Yeah.
Up and Adam, and even diving into those fan discussions on Reddit, which can get pretty intense.
Yeah, they can. So we're aiming to extract the most important nuggets, the key insights. By the end of this, you won't just be caught up. You'll hopefully be, truly well-informed about your favorite reality stars.
Understanding the complex dynamics, the contracts, all those headline moments. Let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
All right, let's kick things off with, well, arguably one of the undisputed queens of the franchise.
Yeah.
A woman who often feels like the central sun of the Beverly Hills universe, Kyle Richards.
Mm-hmm.
Her journey through the fame and feuds, it's really a culmination of decades in the spotlight, touching every part of her life.
Mm-hmm.
She's been part of RHOBH since day one back in Tweetus 10. That kind of longevity, I mean, in that environment, it's pretty remarkable.
It's astonishing, really. 14 seasons? That makes her one of only 2 original housewives left in the entire franchise. The other, of course, being Teresa Giudice over in Jersey. And what's truly fascinating here is just the sheer endurance it takes. Kyle herself called it a massive roller coaster ride.
I bet.
Yeah, a whirlwind of feuds, high-stakes drama, all while her personal life, including, her very public separation from Mauricio Umansky, plays out for everyone to see and comment on.
Which brings us right to this pivotal moment for her career, doesn't it? If she signs on for season 15, she becomes the longest-running housewife in franchise history. Officially.
Huge milestone.
Huge. But you can almost feel this internal conflict she's expressed. She told The Hollywood Reporter that, yeah, part of her wants to have that, but the personal toll the show takes, it's a heavyweight.
It has to be.
How much of that do you think is genuine hesitation, and how much is maybe that calculated ambivalence we sometimes see from these stars, keeping their options open?
That's a fantastic question. It really highlights those blurred lines between what's real and what's part of the narrative, right? She was quoted saying, "I'm not avoiding the answer, but I always say I never know because it depends on my personal life emotionally." Right.
If I can handle it, what is my lifestyle at the time? Who knows? She even said she could watch the next episode and just decide, nope, done.
Wow.
So is that a genuine struggle with the relentless public eye? Or is it, maybe, a strategic move to keep Bravo on its toes, secure better terms?
Hard to say for sure.
And that struggle seems to be playing out right now in her indecision.
Yeah.
She also admitted she feels stronger now than when she started filming the current season.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, but she still can't commit because, quote, my life is constantly changing right now, but it all depends on where I'm at. It just makes you wonder, how does that changing personal landscape, especially the separation, really influence these massive professional decisions, the cameras, the constant speculation?
It's such a unique challenge, isn't it? Balancing personal well-being with professional goals, especially when your profession basically thrives on displaying that personal life. The emotional labor alone, managing crises while filming, then reliving it months later when it airs. It must be immense.
Absolutely. And as Kyle grapples with her future on the show, her present is just as defined by these shifting sands of friendships and family ties. Let's start with, maybe surprising, reconciliation. Dorit Kemsley.
Ah, yes, Dorit.
For those of us who watched season 13, that fallout between Kyle and Dorit was intense. Remember Dorit reading Kyle's private messages at the reunion? Kyle called it the ultimate form of betrayal. I mean, who does that?
It's such a profound breach of trust, especially, like you said, on national television, exposing personal texts like that.
Yeah.
And what's really notable here is that both women were navigating separations from their husbands around the same time.
Right, that's a key point.
That shared experience, dealing with that kind of deep personal turmoil, it seems like it might have been a catalyst for them finding some renewed understanding, almost like a, shared foxhole mentality.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Kyle said we worked things out during the season, and both apparently felt they were in a better place after the reunion, even though they still had to hash things out. So when you see a reconciliation like this, is it truly about mending fences, you think? Or is that shared public vulnerability just too powerful a bond to ignore? Maybe even something producers encouraged?
That's a fantastic point. It makes us think as observers about that balance between genuine emotion and the narratives we get fed, right? It suggests that even amidst all the manufactured drama, real human experiences struggle, empathy can lead to these unexpected reconciliations. Maybe the producer saw an opportunity there for a powerful story arc.
Could be. But while one friendship seems to be mending, another one much older, arguably more foundational, continues to be incredibly complicated. And that's the enduring sibling saga. Kyle and Kathy Hilton.
Oh, boy, Kathy.
This feud, spanning seasons 12 and 13, it's not just a simple disagreement, is it? It's like this tapestry woven from decades of shared history. Deeply rooted, multifaceted. Our Reddit sources especially gave us a ton of fan perspectives on where it all started.
And what this whole saga really shows is how destructive it can be when a family narrative gets weaponized on a public stage. Decades of personal history become content. It blurs the lines between sisterly love and maybe strategic performance.
Right.
It's less about pinpointing who's at fault and more about the cost when these deep-seated patterns get amplified for entertainment. And the roots, they go way back, like the business rift between their husbands, Mauricio and Rick Hilton.
Yeah, the agency thing.
Exactly. When Mauricio left Rick's agency to start his own, the agency reportedly taking clients with him, that caused a massive rift between the families, a schism.
So more than just business, it was perceived disloyalty, family stuff. And then there was Kyle's TV show about their mom, American Woman.
Right. Kathy was apparently irate about that. Kyle producing a show loosely based on their lives. Kathy feared all the skeletons were going to be in the script.
You can imagine having your family history potentially laid bare like that, especially if you felt it broke some kind of understanding.
Totally. And what's fascinating is how these public things intersect with these really deep, personal, long-standing dynamics. Fan discussions on Reddit often point to it being an accumulation of things built up since childhood. They link it back to their mother, Big Kathy. Apparently, she allegedly groomed them to be famous and rich and even played sisters against each other, which creates this complex dynamic where Kathy, as the oldest, is often seen as the matriarch who kind of expects her approval before big family decisions are made.
Which, yeah, you can see how that's a recipe for conflict with two strong personalities like theirs. And then we had Aspen, the infamous Aspen meltdown.
Ooh, Aspen.
Kathy had a meltdown, right? Allegedly using racial and homophobic slurs off camera, saying pretty awful things about Kyle to Rinna. Kyle was upset about the behavior.
As you would be.
But then Kathy wanted Kyle to defend her against Erica and Rinna, specifically demanding Kyle say they were lying. It's wild. And remember when Rinna confronted Kathy at her house? Kyle looked terrified, like a kid caught in the middle.
Yeah, that image of Kyle looking terrified really speaks volumes, doesn't it? About the power dynamics, maybe that deep-seated fear of family disapproval or anger, a pattern that probably goes back decades.
So if Big Kathy really did play them against each other since childhood, how much of this current drama, even Aspen, is about the immediate issue versus just these deeply ingrained, almost performative patterns they can't escape, even when cameras are supposedly off?
That's the million-dollar question, and it ties into the social snubs, too. Kyle reportedly being uninvited, then re-invited to Nikki Hilton's wedding.
Right, and Mauricio and some of the daughters weren't invited at all.
Which apparently hurt the girls deeply. These aren't minor things, they're public displays of family hierarchy resentment.
Yeah.
And the narrative now suggests Kyle is trying to break that cycle through therapy by not prioritizing the family above all nonsense.
Which must be incredibly hard.
Especially when those childhood patterns are so ingrained and then put on display for millions. It implies a conscious effort to set healthier boundaries.
It's just so tough, isn't it? Even without cameras, those dynamics are hardwired. And when every argument, every little slight gets analyzed by millions, that pressure to break the cycle must be almost unbearable. And yet, despite all this, Kathy came back as a friend of the group for season 14, portrayed as a grounding presence, a trusted confidant for Dorit. It just shows how these alliances constantly shift.
It really does.
It makes you wonder, how do those family loyalties and past resentments play out under that kind of scrutiny? And can you, listening, relate to the challenge of breaking generational patterns, especially when they're so public?
It's definitely a relatable struggle, even without the cameras. It adds another layer to the RHOBH story. And speaking of long-standing feuds, let's revisit another iconic rivalry, one that's definitely left a shadow over Kyle's time.
Oh, this one is legendary. The lingering shadow of Lisa Vanderpump.
LVP.
Kyle and LVP had that famously close friendship right from season 1.
Yeah.
A friendship that just crumbled. It's a whole saga, really. A masterclass in how reality TV can both build and totally destroy relationships.
It really is. And the LVP friendship didn't just snap. It sort of eroded over several seasons. It started subtly, way back in season 2, 2011 reunion. Kyle called LVP calculated, compared befriending her to playing chess with Bobby Fischer.
Ouch.
Yeah. LVP distanced herself after that. You could see she was hurt, even then.
Right, but it flared up again in season 4. Brandy Granville claimed LVP planned to bring tabloid stories about Mauricio's alleged cheating on a cast trip. Kyle denied it. But that seed of doubt about LVP's motives, it was planted.
Firmly planted. And then season 6, LVP got accused by Lisa Rinna and Eileen Davidson of trying to drag Kyle into the Yolanda Hadid Lyme disease drama, which understandably annoyed Kyle. It felt like just one chip after another, leading to the inevitable collapse.
And then came season 9, Puppygate.
Ah, Puppygate. The sources say it ended the seemingly unbreakable friendship.
It started with Dorit adopting a dog from Vanderpump Dogs, right? And then rumors she gave it to a kill shelter.
And the crucial accusation was that LVP allegedly planned to make Dorit look bad by getting Teddy Mellencamp involved. It was just this perfect storm of perceived manipulation and betrayal.
And that's where it totally blew up. Kyle confronted LVP about leaking info to the press.
Yeah.
Leading to that explosive RHOBH Season 9 fight at LVP's house, Villa Rosa.
The scene.
The scene where LVP's husband Ken famously kicked Kyle out, shouting, "Goodbye, Kyle." That became iconic, didn't it?
Practically a catchphrase now, though maybe not one you'd put on a family crest, despite Ken's enthusiasm. And that was it. LVP never appeared with the women again after that definitive end.
Yeah.
And the current status, even now, 2024, 2025, it reflects that deep rift. They apparently could never get their friendship back, haven't spoken face-to-face since that fight.
Yeah.
LVP herself said she loved kicking Kyle out, and she keeps making these snide comments, like on Watch What Happens Live, or that recent quip about Kyle and Morgan Wade. I don't want to know who's munching on anything. I don't care.
That's LVP to a T, isn't it?
Right.
Offensive without being, like, straight-up rude, as the source put it. But here's the interesting twist.
Okay.
Despite all the animosity, LVP apparently expressed very sad feelings for Kyle after Kyle announced her separation from Mauricio. She noted Kyle held her marriage really close to heart. It was seen as this truly human moment, a real contrast to her usual crass demeanor. How do you reconcile those two sides of her, the snark and then that moment of empathy?
This contrast is genuinely fascinating. It's almost a masterclass in the nuanced art of being a reality TV villain or maybe anti-hero. LVP's snide comments, then sudden empathy. It isn't just a quirk, it shows she gets it right. Maintaining that crass persona keeps her relevant. But a flash of humanity, maybe strategically deployed, reminds viewers she's complex, not just a caricature.
Good point.
This duality is key to her enduring appeal. It shows how even animosity can be a weird form of connection on these shows. It really demonstrates how loyalty, or the lack of it, can kill friendships on reality TV, yet even after years, a shared human vulnerability, like a marriage ending, can bring out a moment of empathy.
Yeah.
So it raises that question for you, the listener. How do you navigate friendships when outside pressures, reality TV, public perception complicate things? Is real reconciliation ever possible after such a public, drawn-out conflict?
That is something to chew on. Okay, so while LVP is firmly in the past, a new speculated relationship has kept fans buzzing. The Morgan Wade dynamic.
Oh, yes, Morgan Wade.
Kyle's been consistently linked to the country singer, sparking endless speculation about romance, and Kyle herself has definitely played coy about it at times.
Oh, totally. The YouTube channel Up and Atom really nailed this, mentioning that music video they did together. They questioned Kyle's sort of feigned ignorance about the public interest,
Right.
quoting her saying, "I don't know why everybody is so interested in me and Morgan Wade." And the host's reaction was basically, "What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't know why people are interested? What are you doing?"
Exactly. It almost felt like a deliberate move to generate buzz, didn't it? Which, you have to admit, it definitely did.
Oh, for sure.
And Kyle's openly expressed her love for songs from Morgan Wade's new album, The Party Is Over, specifically mentioning Hardwood Floors for its beauty and emotional impact, called it a real tearjerker, and enjoying others like Candy from Strangers for Running. It's interesting how she promotes the music while keeping the relationship status ambiguous.
And what's fascinating here is how the show itself might be using this storyline. Some fans are intrigued, sure, but others are feeling what Up and Adam called fatigue over the whole Morgan Wade thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
The host even wondered if it was a smart and dumb move by Kyle Smart for buzz. Maybe dumb if it drags on too long. It's such a fine line between a compelling narrative and an overdone storyline. Audience patience for ambiguity isn't infinite. True.
This whole situation perfectly encapsulates how celebrity and media intersect. A personal relationship becomes this public spectacle, creating intrigue, but also eventually maybe a bit of weariness.
It definitely is. It brings up that critical question for you, listening.
Yeah.
How do you separate genuine connection from a carefully crafted reality TV narrative? And at what point does a storyline just become overdone? To the point where it hurts the show or your interest.
Yeah.
Okay, moving away from personal relationships for a sec, let's look at the bigger picture of the RHOBH cast.
Right, because a fresh injection of personality can really change the established group dynamics.
Yeah.
Season 14 brought in some interesting new faces.
Totally. Season 14 brought in Jennifer Tilly and Bazoma St. John as main cast members, plus Kathy Hilton returned as a friend of Bird. Kyle Richards herself praised both newcomers. She said Jennifer Tilly brought a whole different energy, which was really fun, calling her bright and colorful and smiley.
And she found Bazoma St. John great, too, after some initial bumps in the road, where Kyle felt she didn't get that chance to know her at first. Sounds like they were definitely trying to shake things up.
And that's exactly what producers often aim for, right? What's interesting is the potential impact these new personalities have. Bozoma's initial questioned allegiance, as one source put it, could definitely hint at her playing a role in early season drama, maybe a catalyst for new conflicts or shifting alliances.
Could be.
And Jennifer Tilly, with her really distinct, vibrant personality, she offers a different kind of dynamic. Maybe less confrontational, but certainly entertaining. It's a classic reality TV strategy. Introduce new elements to shake things up, especially in a long-running show. The hope is always that they'll ignite fresh storylines and unexpected connections.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, what do you look for in new cast members on a show like this? How do new people affect your viewing experience? Do they invigorate it, or do they sometimes feel, I don't know, shoehorned in?
Good question.
But okay, from new faces, let's pivot back to a couple whose future remains a hot topic, with a surprising new twist.
The ongoing saga of Dorit and PK Kemsley, which, has taken a very unexpected turn, again, highlighting those blurry lines between personal life and public spectacle.
Yes, it has. So Dorit and PK's marriage had a very public rough patch. Divorce filings from both sides, Dorit seeking sole legal and physical custody, spousal support, legal fees.
The works?
Yeah. And PK filed for joint custody. This all came after reports linking PK to other women, Shanna Wall, Amanda Cronin, though he denied the Cronin link. It really felt like, okay, this is it, the definitive end.
But then the almost immediate reversal of perception. Just a week after those divorce filings, Dorit and PK were seen together for a dinner date in L.A., outside a Japanese place in Sherman Oaks, instantly sparking reconciliation rumors.
Right, which is such a contrast to previous sightings, like at their son Jagger's baseball game back in April, where they apparently weren't even sitting together, implying clear distance.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Exactly. It leaves us wondering about the motivations, right?
Yeah.
Such a public filing, followed by an equally public dinner date.
It's quite the pivot. The Up and Adam host, for one, had a pretty cynical take. Suggested Dorit's divorce filing might have been a calculated move, maybe for money or hitting a deadline related to the show's filming schedule.
Interesting theory.
He even brought up his dad's grass isn't always greener analogy, connected it to the idea that sometimes space makes the heart grow fonder. And even, quoting his dad, sometimes, son, when you're married to the devil, you know it's better than the devil you don't.
Yeah. Deep thoughts from Dad.
Right.
It's a very grounded, if maybe slightly cynical, perspective from his father. And it highlights the different ways these public actions get interpreted, especially when the lines between genuine emotion and strategic maneuvering are so blurred on reality TV. It encourages us to think critically. Was the divorce filing real? a cry for help, or a dramatic storyline may be encouraged by producers for the season. Or perhaps sometimes that emotional distance does lead to a reevaluation, and the dinner was a genuine attempt to reconnect.
And the fan reactions really mirrored this complexity, didn't they?
Yeah.
Covering the whole spectrum. You had the hopeful fans seeing it as a sign of reconciliation, genuinely rooting for them. Then the skeptical fans believing it was all calculated for cameras, public sympathy, or pushing for the show.
The cynics.
Right. And finally, the custody-focused fans, just curious about the legal implications for their kids, wondering if they were trying to work things out quietly for the family's sake.
Which is also valid.
So in situations like these, how do you even begin to distinguish between genuine efforts to mend things and strategic public appearances? And what's your take on that grass isn't always greener idea in modern relationships, especially ones under this kind of intense scrutiny?
It's a very personal philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And its applicability varies so much depending on the actual relationship, the people involved. It's tough.
Yeah.
But speaking of what's happening on screen, let's look ahead to the upcoming RHOBH season, season 15, which promises its own set of shakeups and probably strategic decisions.
Oh, absolutely. RHOBH finished season 14, and season 15 is already announced, which is always exciting for fans. But yeah, some pretty significant cast changes coming.
Big ones.
Garcelle Beauvais is reportedly out. That's huge. And Bravo alum Rachel Zoe enters the fold in one of the show's biggest casting swings yet.
Wow, Rachel Zoe, that is a swing.
Isn't it? Returning full-timers are Kyle, Erica Jane, Dorit, Sutton Strack, and Bozoma St. John, with Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton back as friends of.
So what's fascinating here is thinking about how these changes will inevitably affect the show's dynamic. Garcelle leaving removes a really significant voice, someone known for being direct. Rachel Zoe coming in. That introduces a whole new layer. Celebrity, fashion industry connections, maybe a different kind of glamour, different kind of drama.
And Kyle herself teased season 15 during an Amazon Live. Said it's stressful, but also has some fun for me, which I didn't have last year.
Ooh, interesting. Fun.
Right. She confirmed filming around Surf Lodge, addressed some rumors about Rachel Zoe and Denise Richards. So it suggests maybe a shift in her personal narrative, finding some joy amidst the usual chaos. Or maybe just a new, more enjoyable kind of conflict for her.
Could be either. That's a huge tease from Kyle. Makes you wonder if some fun means personal breakthroughs or just, yeah, a different kind of drama she enjoys more. Maybe new alliances form.
And Erica Jane pointed out that casting decisions were still being finalized, that no one knows who's coming back for sure after Garcelle's exit. So still some uncertainty.
Always moving parts.
And All About the Truth also mentioned other recent bits of news. Denise Richards breaking her silence after a divorce filing and restraining order. Heather Dubrow apparently lighting up another housewife. These little tidbits just hint at the perpetual drama cycle that keeps these shows in the headlines, even before a new season drops.
It really does. And it raises that question again. How do cast changes influence your decision to watch a new season? What do you hope to see from the veterans and the newbies in season 15? It's such a delicate balance for production, keeping viewer interest high while also refreshing the dynamic.
Constantly trying to find that perfect mix of familiarity and novelty.
Exactly.
But that balance is crucial. Okay, the world of Bravo is way bigger than just Beverly Hills. Let's widen the lens and grab some updates from the entire Bravoverse. Because there is always something happening across these franchises. It paints this picture of constant expansion, challenges, evolution.
It's an empire that truly never sleeps. And beyond the individual dramas, these updates really show Bravo's constant tightrope walk, don't they? How to innovate and expand, like with the new Rhode Island franchise, while grappling with fatigue, legal issues, fan expectations for the long-running shows like RHONJ or RHUGT. It's this dynamic ecosystem where audience interest and real-world consequences are just constantly battling it out.
Okay, let's run through some highlights. Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, back for season 19 in July. Tamra Judge, Heather Dubrow, Shannon Beador, and the return of OG Gretchen Rossi. Apparently she has unfinished business with Tamra.
Ooh, Gretchen's back. Okay. Then Real Housewives of Miami, RHOM, season 7 is underway. No Dr. Nicole Martin, but the core cast is back. Larsa, Louise Hochstein, Alexia, Gertie, Julia, Adriana, Marisol, Kiki plus a newbie, Stephanie Shojay seems stable there.
Salt Lake City, RHOSLC, renewed for season 6 after that explosive season 4 Monica Garcia, Riella Devontees, and a successful season 5 with Mary Cosby back and Brahma Newport joining. They already dropped a season 6 teaser. building the hype.
They know how to do it. And Potomac, RHOP, back for season 9, though playfully without the Grand Dame as she serves her time in prison, meaning Karen Huger, obviously a joke about last season's antics, not actual prison.
Right. Giselle, Ashley, Dr. Wendy are back, and Monique Samuels returned too. Season 10 expected later this year.
And Atlanta, RHOA, whoa. After a year and a half off, almost a total overhaul. Only Drew Sidora back from season 15. Portia Williams made her grand return. Lots of new faces. Britt Eady, Kelly Farrell, Angela Oakley, former friend Shemaya Morton, now full-time, plus Kenya Moore's dramatic exit and Phaedra Parks added later. That's a massive shakeup.
It sounds like they're really trying to reignite things there after maybe a slump in interest.
Seems like it. But not all franchises are smooth sailing. New Jersey, RHONJ, season 15 faces major changes after that weird non-reunion for season 14. Bravo even left it off the initial renewal list.
Ooh, drama behind the drama.
Right. Andy Cohen said they're close to figuring out the cast. Dolores Catania recently shot down rumors the show would be rebuilt around her, Margaret, and Melissa. Definitely sounds like a significant rethink happening there. Maybe responding to fan fatigue with certain feuds.
And New York City, RHONY, the reboot.
Yeah.
Season 15 aired last year with newbies Raquel Chevroment and Rebecca Minkoff, but reports say it ended with a controversial and ultimately boring thud. No word on season 16 yet. Not a great sign for the reboot.
No, not really. Then there's Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, RHUGT. Season 5's fate is unclear. It was supposed to be the Ex-Wives Club. Brandi Glanville, Vicky Gumbelson, Caroline Manzo filmed in Morocco, but reports suggest it may never air because of that lawsuit Caroline Manzo filed accusing Brandi Glanville of sexual assault during filming.
Wow, that highlights the real-world legal stuff that can derail everything, doesn't it? Shelving a whole season.
Absolutely. It shows the direct impact legal issues can have. And Dubai, RHO Dubai, season 2 wrapped up, but season 3 is apparently on pause even after being announced at BravoCon 2023. These pauses, these uncertainties, they reflect Bravo constantly evaluating audience interest, production viability. It's a nonstop battle. Keep it fresh, manage talent, navigate the unexpected.
But the Empire Strikes Back, a brand new franchise, The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, announced. The description talks about a tight-knit circle of Rhode Islanders, deep community roots, tangled family dynamics. Sounds like classic Housewives ingredients, right?
Totally. They're always looking for those rich, pre-existing social dynamics they can mine for drama.
And then All About the Truth had other quick hits. Steve McBee Jr. and his family still covering ex-Khaled Jackson's Rent and Car, Lisa Hochstein unfollowing Larsa's ex, Gina Kirschenheiter open to marriage, Teresa Giudice's daughter Gia getting pulled into Louis Ruelas' court battles. It is just a lot to keep track of.
It certainly is. This whole overview shows how these dramas, personal fights, legal battles, reflect broader trends in reality TV. The blurred lines, the chase for authenticity, the endless search for compelling stories. The Housewives empire is just in constant flux, expanding, facing renewal challenges, dealing with real legal troubles. And Rhode Island shows Bravo's strategy is still finding new places with those built-in social complexities.
It really does. How do you, listening, even keep track of it all? Which updates grab your interest the most? Why? It's kind of amazing this show can sustain such a huge, interconnected universe. Okay, let's circle back to Beverly Hills for one last surprising incident involving a couple of very familiar faces.
Ah, yes. This incident with Kyle Richards and Teddy Mellencamp, it went pretty viral, didn't it? Really highlighted the public reaction to perceived animal mistreatment and the role celebs play in these public confrontations.
Oh, the canine confrontation. Yeah, this was everywhere. Kyle and Teddy confronted a woman for what they saw as mistreating her dogs. Kyle apparently politely asked the woman to treat her dogs better, which, predictably led to a heated exchange.
Doesn't usually end well.
No. It escalated. The woman got aggressive. Kyle started following her across the street, recording on her phone. Teddy described the woman as screaming and acting like she was going to fight Kyle. Sounds intense, but also pretty bold of them to intervene like that.
Yeah, and the aftermath involved calls to animal control, 911. But the woman left with her dogs before anyone arrived. The Up and Adam host gave some interesting context here. He recalled similar, very boisterous reactions to animal mistreatment in LA, especially West Hollywood, contrasted it with maybe a more laid-back vibe in places like Hilton Head.
That geographical context matters, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some places are just more vocal about animal welfare, and celebs might feel a heightened sense of responsibility, or maybe see an opportunity to step in.
Could be. He also mentioned Teddy Mellencamp's current health struggles, that she's dealing with so much when it comes to her diagnosis, which made the visual of Kyle running behind her, seemingly for protection, look a bit questionable to some viewers. Added another layer of scrutiny.
Right. And there was that TMZ video, so everyone saw it play out.
Yeah.
Sparked a huge debate. It's like, in the reality TV world, even an act of perceived heroism gets picked apart from every possible angle.
That's a very sharp observation, and it raises that question for you, the listener. What do you think about people intervening in public like that when they see perceived animal mistreatment? How does context, location, the individuals involved, like Teddy's health, change your perspective?
Yeah.
It forces us to think about the ethics of public confrontation, the role of celebrity, and how easily a good intention can get complicated by public perception and chaos everywhere.
And with that, wow, we've really covered quite the tapestry of drama, headlines, feuds, reconciliations, even public confrontations from the Bravoverse. It is truly a wild ride.
We've definitely covered a huge amount of ground today. From Kyle Richards facing that potentially historic moment in RHOBH, the complexities of her friendships, those deep family feuds, to the uncertainty around Dorit and PK, and just the ever-evolving, expanding, sometimes legally messy landscape of the whole Housewives franchise system. It's a lot to take in, but hopefully useful for anyone trying to really understand this whole phenomenon.
Absolutely. So what does it all mean for us as viewers? In a world where reality TV just expertly blurs those lines between entertainment and genuine human experience, what responsibility do we, as the audience consuming these narratives, actually have in shaping them, or even in defining what reality truly means for these stars?
It's provocative thought, isn't it? Challenges us to think about our own role in this cycle of demand and supply. We're watching these stylized glimpses into lives, but it's not just passive viewing. It feels like active participation in a cultural phenomenon. Our collective attention often dictates the next storyline, the next feud, maybe even the next city they add to the franchise.
So we encourage you, stay curious, keep exploring, maybe even re-examine some of the dynamics we talked about today with fresh eyes. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.